a lot of good news. For sure. So how do we do this? Somebody want to suggest a subject, a topic, an issue?
I think that we should discuss just dealing with the issues with education and just touching teenagers, young adults, and connecting to people. Living in the times that we live in today. It's like whether it's the iPads, the iPhones, kids got people go around with like oxygen tanks, and they seem so just disconnected. So how does one make it connect and make it real, like it's alive?
We had this session last summer. We had 50 teenage girls in a resort. And after a 3-week program, after the first week, I suggested, we were talking about family, I said maybe it'd be a great idea if everybody would just write a letter to their mother. I mean write, with a pencil and paper, the good old-fashioned way. And you don't even have to send it, just write it. I thought for sure they would shrug it off. Almost all of them sat down and wrote a letter. Almost all of them did not mail it. But the next day, the atmosphere in the room was different. They became real for a moment. First of all, because they were writing and not texting. Second of all, because they made some effort to be a daughter to their mother. They don't have that experience. There's a child psychologist who wrote a book called Blessings of a Skinned Knee. There's one good point in the book. She's a conservative Jew, and she was sitting in a class one day, and they decided to learn Hilchos Kibud Aveim. And she found out for the first time in her life that you're not allowed to sit in your father's chair. And that gave her an enlightenment that since then, when she treats children, her first step in the therapy is stop sitting in your father's chair. Because she's been doing this for 12 years or something, and in school she was told that she would be treating children who have issues because they come from broken families, from dysfunctional families, or disadvantaged families. In the 12 years that she has been practicing, she's had very few kids from broken families, very few kids from dysfunctional families, because they don't come for therapy. So she wondered, why do these kids have these issues? It's not following the shitta that she was taught. And when she heard you're not allowed to sit in your father's chair, a light bulb went off. These kids have issues because they have no borders. A child doesn't know what it means to be a child. A parent doesn't know what a parent is. This confusion is... So I read that, just passing, and I thought, it's a good idea. I got to think about that someday. And in the meantime, the mother asked me to talk to this 11-year-old boy who was getting thrown out of a school. So it was just off the... I said, let me ask you a question. Do you sit in your father's chair? He says, yeah. I said, I think that's a problem. He said, why? I said, I'm not sure. I have to think about that, but I think it's a problem. And I said, let me ask another question. Does your dog sit in your father's chair? He says, yeah. I said, does your dog sleep in your bed? He says, yeah. I said, if your dog and your father were fighting, and you had a baseball bat, who would you hit? This, I think this would be a typical answer for an American kid. Huh?
That's all.
And it's a very noble answer.